John and I are on our transatlantic to Europe on the Celebrity Ascent cruise ship. Today is day 4. Hello everybody, Joyce here with the Traveling Gamblers, and I am here with John. Hello John.
Hello Joyce.
It is April 23rd, and we gave you a rundown of some things on April 20th, so we're going to pick up from there.
Right.
But today was our first stop. It was our first port.
Georgetown, Bermuda.
Yes.
Yes.
So we got to touch land today after 2 days at sea.
Much needed.
Much needed.
Yes.
Oh boy, we're in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
If it was much needed after 2 days.
And
we have 7 sea days from this point forward. So we actually have 7.5 if you count tonight. But before we talk about what we did today in Bermuda.
Right. We're left something out from Monday.
Well, we're going to go over what we did on the second and third day.
Right.
They were 2 sea days. And when we did our video on Sunday night, we left out the show that we went to.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a comedian.
Yes, and it was
Monique Marvez.
And she is very funny.
She is. We've seen Monique. We've seen her
many times.
Comedy show many times. And the thing that we like the best about her, here's actually a photo of her on stage.
She feeds off the audience, which is, every show is different because she feeds off the audience, and it's very
she talks
talented.
To people in the audience, and kind of one thing leads into another. So it's really interesting, and she is so funny. Her adult comedy show, the late night show, is tomorrow night, and it is spicy. Yes. It is for sure spicy. We're going to leave a link below to her social media so you can check her out. And tomorrow night when we go to her show, she's given us permission to record just a little bit of her show to put in our video. And we'll talk about that after we do that.
Okay.
So that was the first night, Sunday night. So that concludes our day 1. And day 2, it's kind of the same thing we do. We actually got up early.
We did have breakfast.
And we went to breakfast at Blue.
Right.
So just want to clarify something, because a couple people made some comments from the first video that we did. We are not in Blue for the entire 57 days of this trip. We aren't even on the Ascent for the entire 57 days. We are going to tell you as it goes along what we're doing. We don't want to spoil everything up front. Right. But for this leg, for this cruise, which is 15 nights crossing, we are in an aqua cabin. So we will have our meals in Blue. And we went to breakfast in Blue.
And after that, we went to cab. But you did go to something with Talmadge. You went to a game show.
Yes.
You did.
So we went to Blue, and our friend Talmadge and Richard came by and said that they were going to True or False, and asked us if we wanted to go. And John doesn't really like those kind of things. Plus, we didn't want to give up our seats at cab. So I went ahead and went with them, and it was fun. I don't have any pictures to show you, but there was a question, and it was true or false. And the floor was divided by red, like arrow things, and the other side was green arrow things. So you would stand on the green if you thought the answer was true, and the red if you thought it was false. And whoever was right stayed in the game, and whoever was standing on the incorrect side, they're out. And it's a process of elimination, and whoever the last man standing, or woman standing, or person standing is the winner. And they had 2 rounds while we were there. We missed the first round, so we just watched, which was good because it gave us an idea how to play. Then we participated in the second round, and Talmadge and I were out at the second or third question. And Richard stayed in for one more question and then he was out. But it was fun. It was something different. It was an activity that I haven't done before. Remember, I said there are going to be different activities on the crossing because it's 14 days and we are headed into a block of sea days starting tonight. So then we hung out in Cafe Abaccio and we did I did some editing. We put up a video. We did the thumbnail and a slot video, and then we
eventually went upstairs, and then we
got ready for dinner.
And we met everybody in
right, because the first night we had dinner with Suzanne and Bob, and the second night we had dinner with Suzanne, Bob, Richard, and Talmadge. So there were 6 of us. And it was very nice. The food was really good.
But we met in Eden first, right? And had a drink over there?
We did. Yeah, yes, we did. We went to a cocktail hour, kind of. Mm-hmm. And we sat and listened to some live music. And then we went over to Blue. We were there for about an hour at Eden. That was very nice. Mm-hmm. It's not something that we typically do. We don't really drink much alcohol. Not that we don't drink at all. We just, neither one of us really like it very much. A little bit of a drink here and there, but it's a social event. So we went and we had a really good dinner. And then after that, the show that night was Bridges.
Right.
So Bridges. We didn't go because we've seen Bridges several times.
But we did do our 5 laps.
We did.
Right, and that's something we're trying to do every night now.
We are going to do it every night. So we went up and we did the walking track. For those of you that haven't been on an Edge class ship, there's a walking track and it's 5 times around on the Ascent. They've changed the track layout a little bit on the Ascent. Mm-hmm. 5 times around is 1 mile. Right. So there's an incline and then it's flat and then there's a decline. And it's good because it changes the pattern of you walking, which is really good for you. We did that 5 times around for 1 mile.
Right. And then we came back, I believe, and we were trying to watch Tulsa
King of Tulsa.
King of Tulsa.
Right.
Through the streaming.
Which is really good. It's on Paramount Plus.
Right.
It's on season 2. The entire season is out. Mm-hmm. I watched the first season on the airplane flying home or flying to LAX from Sydney when we went to Australia in the fall when we did the Trans-Pacific crossing.
Right. And we streamed it. We didn't know we could stream Paramount. We never did that before because we were streaming Netflix before, but we showed everybody how to do that on our 28 days on the Ascent, one of those videos.
Right.
Because you could stream on these TVs, on most of the TVs.
Yeah. So, and it's the same exact process as streaming Netflix. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that you can't stream is Hulu, and I'm not quite sure why. But
I never tried. Right.
But no, we did try something.
Okay.
Paramount Plus you can stream. So we're watching. John caught up. We rewatched season 1. He watched it. I rewatched it, and now we're in season 2. And it's funny.
We can't almost make it through an episode each night. Because we're exhausted. Because we've been getting up earlier than usual.
Yeah.
Because the other cruises we would stay up really late sometimes in the casino, and it could be 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Then we end up getting room service, and this time we haven't gone.
This video is going to be really long if we keep going.
Okay.
You know that. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So we haven't even gotten to day 3 yet.
Okay.
We're still talking about day 2. That's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying.
Okay.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Fine.
So yeah, we've been falling asleep faster or earlier, easier. So normally when I'm awake in the middle of the night, that's not happening, which is really good. And then yesterday was different.
Yes, yesterday was different. First of all, we decided not to do anything with YouTube yesterday.
Yeah.
And you got to do some artwork.
So for breakfast, I like to eat a light breakfast. So yesterday, John is so sweet. He's such a thoughtful husband. He went to the buffet and got me a bowl of 6 hard-boiled eggs, and they are in the refrigerator in our cabin. So I had a hard-boiled egg, and you had a cheese Danish, right?
I had part of the cheese Danish, yes, because I'm cutting back on the cheese Danish, but I did discover the what is that called? The refuel, not shake,
The
smoothie.
The smoothie.
Smoothie up at the
Spa Cafe.
Spa Cafe.
Which is inside the solarium, the adult solarium.
Yeah.
There's a Spa Cafe, and they have like healthy bites, and because we have the premium drink package, they have some smoothies that you can get. We talked about that at another time.
Did we?
Yeah,
okay.
we did.
Okay, the refuel.
Yeah, the refuel. It's peanut butter. It's a healthier,
we did
tasty.
That.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So then,
you were doing some drawing, and
yes.
then we decided to play some cards.
Yes. And one of the guest entertainers we are becoming friends with, we met Roy Tan. He is a pianist, and we met him about a year and a half ago. We think that it was on the Ascent maiden voyage.
Right.
He thinks so, and we
We've
think
seen
so
him,
too.
We've seen him a few times.
Right, but we didn't actually meet him and have an exchange with him until then. Right. And so when we saw him on the Ascent a few weeks ago, John talked to him and asked him if he would be interested in playing cards with us some days, and he said yes, absolutely. We'd have to teach him, but yes. So yesterday we had that opportunity. He came and sat with us for about 2 hours, and we played Shanghai with him, which is a card game. It's a really fun card game. That was a
mistake, because he beat us every single time.
Well, we played 2 games.
It wasn't a mistake, but
we played 2 games, and he wiped the floor with us in both games. So we're like, "Are you sure you haven't played this before?"
Yeah, he said he doesn't play cards, and then when he picked up the cards to shuffle them, he did like a professional shuffle. What do you mean you didn't play cards?
Yeah.
So he sent us something really nice, and we'll put a link to that eventually. He did
we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow.
Okay.
Because we're gonna go see his show tomorrow night, and you guys are gonna see a clip of that. Okay. And then we have something that he sent us he put up on YouTube, and we'll talk about that tomorrow after the video when we see him.
Okay.
And then after that, we finished up just in time to come up and shower and get dressed and freshen up for dinner. And then we met Talmadge and Richard and Suzanne and Bob at Eden again.
Right.
And we sat there again and listened to some live music. And it's really a very nice way to start before you go to dinner.
Right.
But again, we're not drinkers, so, but it's a nice socialization aspect, and it's a nice opportunity to sit and chit-chat and listen. And it's something different, and we're really enjoying it. We didn't get to Blue for dinner until about 7. And so, the service last night, Blue for dinner for the first 2 nights was packed. And it was super, super, super busy. And the service is great. And last night the service was great also, but it was very slow. It took a long time. And we got there, I'm going to say it was about 6:45. And we didn't walk out until like 5 to 9. A little bit before 9, because we went straight to the theater to get seats for last night's show. Do you remember his name?
This is the dancing trombone something or other. I don't remember his name.
Dang it. Let me look on here and see. So you talk about him for a minute, and
yes,
and
it was very interesting. He's been around.
I have the photo, but it doesn't say his name. So here's it's an actual photo of him playing. I feel bad that we don't know his name.
All right, so next time we'll get his name, and next time we'll mention it.
But it was an interesting show. It was very different.
It was different than anything we've seen. He was very talented.
Sang a little bit.
Yeah,
very talented. Yeah, it was a good show.
Yeah.
And then after that, because we were at dinner for so long, we hadn't had a chance to walk. So then we went and did our walk last night at almost 10 o'clock at night. We did our 5 laps around. It was very windy. And
he had a little wind tunnel there.
We came back. Yeah, that was close.
Yeah.
We went around one corner and it was super windy. It was a little wind tunnel. And
I
John,
lost my footing.
Yeah, your footing.
Footing,
Your fitting.
Okay,
And,
it's late.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
yes,
it's unedited, so here you go.
Yeah.
So then we came back and we attempted to watch Tulsa King, and we managed to get through one episode.
Right.
And I fell asleep so fast.
It's great because this is the first time you've been sleeping in a while.
Yeah, it is. Oh, here we go. There's the yawn.
Okay.
I don't think it would be a video without a yawn.
We got up at a decent time this morning.
This morning I woke up. So we went 1 hour forward 2 days ago. And then tonight we're going another hour forward. So we are 2 hours ahead of Eastern Daylight Savings Time from home.
So I need to.
So right now it's 9:15 p.m. for our internal clocks and for home in Florida.
8:15.
But it is 11:15 ship's time, or it's 10:15. And
it
but
will
when we go to sleep,
UTC -3.
Okay.
For those that follow.
So then today,
yeah.
I woke up. I was wide awake at 7, and we got up and we went to. Well, was it 7 or was it 6? I can't remember now, because I don't change my phone.
We left the room about 8:30, I think, 8:45.
Yeah. No, it was later than that because I told you they were open till 9:30.
So okay.
So we got there right around 9.
Okay.
Blue shifted their hours for this cruise because the time is going to change 6 times. So they open at 8 and they're open until 9:30 instead of 7:30 to 9.
And we ate pretty light. Had some cottage cheese and fruit, but they had oatmeal this time, and their oatmeal's really good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
And we got off the ship as soon as we finished breakfast, which was about 10. And now we get to talk about Bermuda.
Yeah.
So
it was a little chilly when we first got off the ship, and then once we got in the sun, it was not too bad.
So the temperature, the air was cool, but the sun was very hot. So it warmed up. We took our jackets off almost immediately. And we both had on short sleeve shirts and long pants, and we were perfectly comfortable. It's the naval dockyard is the port, and there are several things that you can do. You can walk just around the port. You can take a ferry over to Hamilton Island, and that is $4.50. And you could also take a bus over to Hamilton Island, and that is also $4.50. And we found out today from our friends John and Kimmy, well, John of John and Kimmy, that they walked to a public beach. They actually went to 2. One was called Glass Beach. I remember that because he said there was glass everywhere. And he said it was only about a 15-minute walk outside of the port. But we discovered something that we did not know existed here in the port, in the actual port. And we'll get to that when we get to it. So here's a video of us walking outside the ship. Here's a photo of the ship. And then we walked around, and there's an information center. And right in front of the information center is a sign for a complimentary tram. So if you'd like to, you only have to walk to that point, and you could take the tram over to the mall, over to the shopping mall. We walked, and we walked all the way around. We went into a couple stores because I'm looking.
Walk. It's really not much of a walk.
Probably a total of 10 minutes from the ship to the shopping mall. Yeah, it's not a long walk at all. But we stopped and we went into a couple stores because I was looking for a sweat jacket.
And a patch.
And a patch. Oh, and we did buy the patch.
We did buy the patch.
Okay. We bought the patch in Bermuda. Very cool.
Do you want to see
forgot about it. Yeah, go ahead and get it. So I saw a sweat jacket and I was going to buy it, but it was a little too big. So I decided to not. So they had a medium and they had an extra large, and I really needed a large, and the medium was too small and the extra large was too big, so I decided to not get it. It was $45. So $45 is not, it's a lot of money to spend on a sweat jacket.
We'll get something in Europe.
There we go. There's my patch. I like it. To add to my collection. And I have decided that my black backpack from New Zealand is not really what I want. So I'm going to hold off on putting them on anything until I find what I really want.
And you have about 50 some odd patches.
Yeah, I do. I
Since
want to find
May.
something that's
Since May.
kind of
That's a lot of
like
places.
a distressed, I don't know, messenger bag or something. I'm not sure what I want, but I'll know it when I see it. But the backpack's great, and I brought the backpack with me, but I'm not going to put my patches on it.
Okay.
And then, so we continued around. We went into the couple of stores, and then we continued around. And there's a pharmacy on the other side, and we popped in there, and they've got all kinds of. It's where I got my socks 2 years ago when I thought I was missing my socks on the transatlantic, and you can get any kind of hygiene things that you want. And so if you forget anything and you're on a transatlantic and you stop in Bermuda first, it's a good thing. And they had some patches, but I wanted to make sure, so we continued on to the mall.
The mall, yes.
And we walked through the mall, and we walked all the way to the end this time. We've never done that before. And there was these little shops.
Mm-hmm.
So we walked through there, and we turned around and we came back, and then we went back to the pharmacy and we bought the patch there because it is what I wanted. So there's a couple pictures of the shopping mall and the pharmacy, and then we continued to walk back past in the direction to go to the ship.
Right.
But we changed our minds.
Right. We took a detour because we never went down that road before. And
so instead of turning to the right and going back around the bend towards the ship, we went straight.
And it was a little bit of a walk, and there was like an arcade center, was it? Kind of. There was a sign,
it said it was like
really
a fun center or something.
But it had a miniature golf course in there.
Yeah.
And then a beach.
Who knew?
Right? There was a.
So I'm looking now to see. Here it is. There's the name of it. So let's see. Oh, I passed it. It is called Snorkel Park Beach Club. And it's the only way I can describe it is so if from the ship, you walk around, and instead of going to the left and going towards the pharmacy and the mall, if you make a right and you go down there. So here's a video, and we walked to it. And when we got there, I asked the lady at the counter, it's in the video, here's the sign. It was $15?
$15, and then
it was $15 to get in. So here's the sign. It was $15 for entry, $25 for a chair, and $20 for an umbrella. So that's a lot. That's $60, and that's for one chair, I guess. So I asked her if it was okay if we went in to just do a quick video. So we were dressed like this, and said, is it okay if we just go in and do a quick video? We have a YouTube channel. And she said, one of you can go. And I said, okay, we're not dressed for the beach. And she said, you'd be surprised. And I was like, okay. So she let me go in. So I did a little video around, and that's what you can see here. And it was really nice.
Yeah, I didn't get to go inside to see it, but I could see it.
I would, if it was warmer and I knew about it, I would go there and pay the $15 entrance fee. Well, now that I know
I would
other
check out
beach,
the other beach, right?
Yes.
I would see what that's
I would
about.
definitely go to the other beach. So we'll have to find out from John where exactly they went.
You know, I think you can actually get there. You know, the way we walked back, I think you could actually walk straight out from the.
Right, if we went back towards past the pharmacy and straight past the mall.
No, when we got off the ship, instead of curving around towards the pharmacy, I think you could walk straight, because remember
that's
when we
the ship. That's another ship, and there's the water. That's the water.
All right, because when we came back, it was the I'm confused.
Right. So I know exactly what you're saying. So when we came out, if we didn't turn, we would have had to cross the street and then go down, and then we could go, and then that's where the museum is, and that's what this is.
Right.
So when we came out of the beach, we kept walking, and again, it was uncharted territory for us. So we walked, and Talmadge had told us about the museum.
Right.
So we saw the museum, and at this point we had walked for well over an hour and over 2 miles, and we were kind of over it. We wanted to head back to the ship, so we went in to check out the museum. And the lady there wasn't very nice. I said, can I just poke my head in and take a picture real quick to show
At the outside of the museum.
just right there into the entrance of it? And she said no, because the only other picture is this, where you could see through the gate. So that's all you get of the museum. There's the prices.
Yeah.
So it was $36 for the two of us to go in, so we decided to not do it. And when you go on big trips like this, you have to really watch your pennies and make your wise decisions.
There's so much to see in Europe. There's so many,
right?
You know,
yeah,
just so much to see that
right.
It just doesn't matter.
Right. And we have so many excursions that we have booked and paid for, and so many things that we're going to be doing, and land, and there's so much stuff going on that we don't need to spend the extra $36 to go into a museum like that. But it's the Bermuda National Museum. So anyway, then we walked back to the ship, and we got back on the ship, and it was around 11:30 or so.
We went to cab.
We dropped off our stuff, came up to the cabin. Actually, I went and got a seat.
Right, I went up.
You went up and got us our stuff.
The computer and things,
and I was looking at our reservation for the next cruise. So we're staying on the Ascent for back to back.
Right.
And the next cruise, it's a back-to-back. We move cabins, and we had a certificate from the casino, and it entitled us to, the certificate was good for a infinite veranda cabin. And when I called to book it, they didn't have any more left. So they gave us a deluxe porthole veranda, which is fine. But it's pretty far forward. And it was 6115. We actually had that cabin once before, but we didn't actually stay in it because we had 2 cabins that cruise. But I looked online for the next cruise, and I saw that there were infinite verandas available, and the cruise is in like 10 or 12 days or something. So I called Blue Chip, and I said, you know, this is what our certificate was originally good for. And she said, well, the certificate is expired by now. And I said, I realize that. But since the cruise is so close and there are quite a few cabins still available, she looked it up and she said it would be $386 for us to upgrade to the infinite veranda. And I said, well, if it's available and it's something that we should have gotten to begin with, and we didn't because there weren't any available, and now one is available.
And the price went down.
Quite a bit. Would you please talk to a supervisor and ask for an exception for this? And oh boy, she put me on hold. We got disconnected. She called me back like 5 minutes later. She put me on hold again. We got disconnected again. It was on her end. She said her system kept shutting down. So it took a while. She called me back about 20 minutes later, and she said I just restarted my system, and she apologized a lot, and it was fine. So she came back and she said, yes, I got approval. So they moved us to an infinite veranda. So we are, instead of being on deck 6 almost all the way forward in a deluxe porthole veranda, we are now on deck 8, which I like the middle decks. I like 6, 7, and 8, especially for
transatlantic.
Well, we're not going to be on a transatlantic at that point. We're going to be in the Mediterranean.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But especially for transatlantics, I like the middle decks. I don't want to be up too high. But we are now exactly midship, and we have an infinite veranda. So we got what we should have had to begin with, and it was no additional money. And they upgraded us right then and there over the phone. She sent me the new invoice. My system updated, and it was there in my. So that was a good thing.
Right.
And then our friend John came and sat with us, and we chatted with John for a little while, and that's when he was telling us about the beach. And then Talmadge and Richard stopped by, and they told us a little bit about their day. Then we saw Roy, and Roy came and sat with us with Monique Marvez and Monique's friend KK. So the three of them sat and chatted with us for a while, and really nice people, all three of them, very nice. And we are going to possibly teach KK tomorrow how to play cards.
Yes.
How to play Shanghai or something.
Right.
And
after we have our Zenith lunch tomorrow. Right.
And so then we came back to the cabin, dropped off our stuff, freshened up a little bit, went to dinner. We went to dinner early at Blue.
Yes.
Just the two of us, because we were eating too late. And even though we enjoy the company of our friends, we needed to eat dinner at a normal time for us. So, and we wanted to be able to do our walk and come back and do this video before, midnight. So,
and it's still before midnight.
It's 11:30 for us. Well, it will be.
Yeah.
And so we did do a video for dinner. And we're going to do it just like this. We took photos of our meal, the menu, and all of our entree, all of the dishes, the different serving. I can't even think.
You see,
different courses.
Yes.
Oh boy. And we will do it just like this. We're going to sit on the couch and we're going to go over.
We're doing that right after this.
Right after this, so it's fresh in our
so
minds.
So if I have the same shirt on, that's because we're just doing it.
Right. We just, we had the dinner tonight, so we want to do it while it's fresh in our mind.
Right. And that will probably go,
so look for that in a few days.
Right, because then the slot video goes up. We'll try to get it up every Friday for the slot video. Yeah. So this weekend sometime we'll probably get that one up.
Yes. Yeah. And of course we have to see how the internet cooperates.
Right.
But dinner was really good.
Yes, we had prime rib tonight.
It was really.
Oh, we shouldn't. Okay. You see that face you gave me?
Well, when you realized it as soon as you said it, you said, "Well, I guess I shouldn't." You said it.
Okay.
It's
okay.
It's
I mean,
no spoiler alert here. So dinner was really nice, and then after dinner, we came up to the cabin. John got a jacket, and we went for our walk. And tonight we did 6 laps.
Yes.
So it was really nice, and it was still daylight out, so that was nice. So what I did was I recorded 1 lap around, so you guys could see the trajectory or the direction of the walking track and how beautiful it was out there. And we came back to the cabin and we started working on some things, and here we are recording for you nice people. And that's it. And that does it. We are all caught up for day 4, our first port in Bermuda on our transatlantic. And we will probably do another video tomorrow or the next day and talk about the shows that we saw, because we're going to go see Roy tomorrow night. We have our Zenith lunch tomorrow, so we'll have that to report on. Roy tomorrow dinner, Roy tomorrow night,
and Monique
Marvez is doing her adult show tomorrow night, right after Roy.
Yeah.
So the shows are 7 and 9 this cruise. Usually they're 7:30 and 9:30, but they're 7 and 9, and I think it's because it's the 1 hour forward thing. And so we will show that, in the next couple of days. And like I said, 7 days at sea. We haven't gone into the casino yet. We're not sure what we're doing there, but we haven't gone into the casino yet. We still have our free play. Yes. And
I'm good with that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, we're having a good time. Yeah, we're having a really good time. So that does it for day 4 on the 15-day transatlantic. Thank you so much for watching. You know what to do. If you enjoyed it, hit the thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, hit subscribe below this video. Turn on the notification bell. That will let you know of any new videos that we post, so you won't miss a thing. We appreciate your support so very much. And as always, we hope you have a wonderful day.
See you soon.